Hi, my name's Adam. This is Kelly. We're from the Big Bumper Company. We're standing here in front of a 24-foot typical pontoon boat that people use on the lake. Kelly, you know, when you come to our website, we have a lot of choices.
Yeah.
And one of the most common questions we get is, which ones do I select for my boat? There's a lot of different applications. Some people have a dock, some people pull it out of the water, some people float up against it. So what would you suggest for something like this?
It's a great question because we have a lot of different options, right? We've got 24-inch diameters, we got 18-inch diameters, we got 2-footers, 4-footers, 6-footers, and 12-footers. But what most of our customers do when they have a pontoon boat like this is they look first and say, what is my typical application? So if they're gonna be pulling up to a dock, most frequently, that's their biggest application is a dock, they're gonna use typically a 6-foot, 18-inch bumper. So Adam, if you'd grab that other side, you'll have a dock line here and you'll put it in two places. You'll put it right in the middle of the boat. This takes the place of 4 or sometimes 5 fenders that people will hang off the side of the boat. So we'll get to how small this gets in a second. But Adam, have you ever seen anybody driving with like 5 fenders?
It's
absolutely insane.
Well, and then, you know, this is great because it does give you quite a good safe distance from the dock.
Yeah. So what if it's really, really wavy? Like you're in a active area of a lake, and so you're pulling up to a dock, you throw this in here. Can the waves ever get to where this would hit the dock?
No, you've got a foot and a half, 18 inches between here and the dock. And it's easy for people to step off the boat onto the dock. So it keeps your boat very well protected.
So what we see most of our customers do with pontoon boats is they get a 6-foot, 18-inch diameter bumper and they put it in the middle like this. This deflates in about 45 to 50 seconds and stores much, much easier than 4 or 5 of those fenders. Because the reason that you see the fenders hanging is because people don't want to take the time to store them and figure them out. Not to mention, they don't really work. We've done boat shows like this before and people come up to us all the time and go, I love your product. I hated my fenders. It's a really, really good solution. Now, this is one option, but we do have a lot of pontoon boat customers who like to tie up with other customers. So Adam, when you've got people who want to do tie-ups or what we call bumper ups, what do our customers typically do in that case?
Well, there's several different options, but depending on the boat that you're tying up against, I would use maybe 2 4-footers.
Yep.
Maybe put one on the front, Kelly.
Yep.
And then I'd put one back there in the back.
Yep.
And even maybe use a 24-inch diameter, which is going to keep the boats even further apart, a lot better protection.
So it really depends on kind of the lake environment. If it's not a crazy wavy environment, this is a 4-foot, 18-inch diameter bumper where you put one on each side and it will completely protect your boat from the other boat. If you're tying up to a much bigger boat or a boat that has a hull that goes like this, that's where a 24-inch diameter would come into play. The last thing that we sometimes see people do is if they're in a lake where it's not very busy and it's fairly calm on the water, well, sometimes people get these little 2-foot bumpers and hang them vertically just like this, because they'll serve the same purpose as the 4-footer, but because they're not tying up with other boats and it's not very busy, they work really well. So I hope that was helpful.
Check us out, bigbumper.com.